What's going on YouTube? You already know what it is. You already know what we're here to talk about. I spoke about these files, and I spoke about a few other things I want to see get released, because like the MOK files, the JFK files, and I think something else. I can't remember. I can't remember who else, but it was someone else, I believe. Right? And then obviously Epstein being one of them that I wanted to go through. So I looked at the JFK ones and everything like that. I just didn't do a video on it because that's very text heavy. There's a lot to go through with that, and I didn't want to do that. But these right here, yeah. And I was very disappointed when it seemed like Trump was kind of like, oh, why are people still talking about it? I was like, you made it a point to talk about in your campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't do that, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, truly, I wouldn't. But you can't bring it up in the campaign and say, yeah, we're going to do all this. And then all of a sudden, like, well, why y'all still talking about it? Don't make me look like an ass, because you talked about it. If you didn't bring it up, wouldn't give a damn. But yeah, there's been some new developments, some emails and everything like that. And look, my opinion on it is this. Unless you have damning evidence showing that he was involved in a heavy degree doing stuff that he should not have been doing, because him being friends with him doesn't really mean anything. There's a lot of people that are friends with this dude. Or monster, that's what we call him monster. There's a lot of people that were friends with this monster. And that's not me justifying, that's just the reality of the situation. There was a lot of people that were friends with him, used his plane, been to his island, whatever have you. But without further ado, we're just gonna jump right in and then mine it out from there.
Tonight in newly released emails, sex offender Jeffrey Epstein repeatedly discussing Donald Trump, shedding new light on their long friendship and seeming to suggest Trump had information he never shared. In a 2011 exchange with his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein writing the, quote, dog that hasn't barked is Trump, adding one of his victims spent hours with Trump at Epstein's home, but that Trump has never once been mentioned. Maxwell replying, I have been thinking about that. The emails obtained from the Epstein estate were released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. Tonight, House Republicans and the White House say the victim mentioned was Virginia Giuffre, who once worked at Trump's spa at Mar-a-Lago. She had said she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. She died by suicide earlier this year. Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade.
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Nah, come on now. Come on now. That's more so against him as opposed to Donald Trump, and the reason why is because that will put him in a compromised Epstein. That will put the monster in a compromised situation to where, let's just say, they catch him on another lie. So that's not so much incriminating evidence on, you know, Donald Trump or anything like that. That could be incriminating evidence on himself, because let's just say there's a situation where it pops up and it's like, hey, look, we have you with this. You know, you never know. I just want to know the truth. I don't want to go off of accusations and then base it. No. Because even with that email, right? The email saying Trump is a dog that didn't bark, that could mean a lot of things. You know, when people say a hit dog will holler, it could be like that. That's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm hearing it. You know what I'm saying? A hit dog will holler. Trump is the one dog that didn't bark, so it's like, okay, he wasn't hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? You see what I'm saying? For me, I like going off of 100% facts. I don't like going off of, well, maybe. I don't like that shit. 100% facts, that's it.
Trump insists he broke off the friendship when he learned Epstein and Maxwell were luring away women and teenage girls who worked at Mar-a-Lago.
Stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it.
In a 2019 email to author Michael Wolff, Epstein writing, Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. Sources say she's angling for a pardon. And just a few weeks ago, when Trump was asked about her, he didn't rule it out.
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it.
Tonight, Democrats say the new emails increase the pressure on the Justice Department to release the FBI's full Epstein files.
What I know today is that Donald Trump is the president, and he campaigned on releasing all the Epstein files. Obsessed about it. His vice president obsessed about it. And now the White House is involved in a massive cover-up, and we want to know, why won't they release the files?
Today,
my thing is this, don't sit here and act like we didn't have a president just now for the past 4 years when this was going on that also didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm under no illusion that these politicians are not our friends. I'm not stupid. I know none of them are our friends. And I think none of them on either side really give a damn about us. My personal opinion. But I don't like this whole like, hey, look, he's doing over there. Look. Yeah, all that motherfuckers corrupt, okay? And follow me on this trend thought, all right? Come here. People have been gunning on the Democrat side, or the liberal side, whatever you want to call it, for Donald Trump for the longest time, especially when it came to them trying to get him off the ballot, when it came to Fonnie Willis and then Letitia James pulling up charges against him, you know, to pretty much get him off the ballot for the election in 2024. I am forced to believe, right, that if there was anything in there like heavily incriminating him to show like, hey, look, you for a fact were out here doing some nastiness on that island, that they would have released it. Because during that time, that was the Biden administration. Like, I'm not stupid enough to believe that all of a sudden Trump came into power, they all of a sudden had the files or whatever files maybe, you know what I'm saying? Or they had information. No, I think it was already there. Whether or not it's still there, you know, people can destroy it. I don't know. And they just don't want to release it on both sides. That's what I think. I could be off, but I'm just saying, because if you really wanted to put a nail in the coffin in Trump's campaign, administration, whatever have you, you would have done it like how long ago? Like during Biden's administration, you would have done it sometime during then to really make sure that he couldn't run, but they didn't. So that forces me to believe that there's nothing really in there that's going to like really heavily incriminate him besides the fact that he knew to do. You know what I'm saying? And then even with those emails, right? It seemed like he was pretty much saying, hey, look, he knew what was going on, but he said to stop. That's what said in the email. That's not me. So yeah, I personally believe that there's nothing heavily incriminating him, and I believe that both sides of the aisle have some people up there, and that's why they don't want to release it. Because like I said, when Biden was in office, they didn't release it then. I doubt they're going to release it now. I would love for them to, definitely. Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Apparently what happened, I think it's the House Democrats or whatever, made it so that these emails could get leaked. I'm not a fan of them doing it like that, because obviously you can see it's targeted. But when there's other people, I'm pretty sure that are, you know, more incriminated, and they're holding that back. And like I said, I could be wrong. I could be misinformed. But based off the information I've seen and based on information that's being proven right here,
I asked the White House, in the interest of transparency, why not just go ahead, release the full files on Epstein, get this all over with?
This administration has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever.
A group of House lawmakers have been circulating a petition to force a full vote to demand the Justice Department release the files. They've been one name short, House Speaker Mike Johnson refusing to swear in Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, who was elected 7 weeks ago. He blamed the government shutdown, but today with the House back in session, Grijalva finally sworn in. And minutes later, signing the petition.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein Files. Justice cannot wait another day.
But it did wait 4 years. Look, that's all I'm saying. Like, do I think this is a political ploy? Yeah, I do. Very much think so. Very much think so, because they had all this time, and all of a sudden now they want to do it. You know, and like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I owe no allegiance to any of these people on either side. I don't give a damn. I don't care about these people, because they probably don't care about me. That's 100% fine. I just want to know, because I just want to know who's out here being nasty, and I want them to get locked up. That's it. You know, if it's people on the Republican side, cool, lock their asses up. People on the Democrat side, cool, lock their asses up. People on both sides, lock them niggas up. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this: you ran talking about it, saying you're gonna release it and everything like that. Then, not as soon as, but when he got in, I don't know what they learned, I don't know what they saw. It got a little weird. Niggas was just like, "Oh, why are you still talking about this?" Like, motherfucker, you talking about it? That's why. So yeah, and look, if this is gonna like really come out and be authentic and not be a situation where they're obviously just trying to aim their knives at the president, then sure, I'm all for it. I really don't give a damn. I just want to know who's out here being nasty and lock them the hell up. That's really all I want.
And David, in another twist, the White House is trying to pressure Republicans to switch their vote on that petition. Today, summoning Congresswoman Lauren Boebert here to the White House, to the Situation Room, where the Attorney General and the FBI Director tried to convince her not to do it. But tonight, she's still signed on to try and force the release of these files. David.
All right, Mayor.
I take everything I hear, especially from more politicized news stations, everything like that, with a grain of salt. Time will tell, right? Time will tell. If this is really going to happen, Sure, cool, I'm all for it. Why the FBI and, you know, people in the White House don't want to release it? Look, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But look, release the files. You said you were going to. Do it. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't get released, no skin off my back. It's just, you talked about the shit. That's it. Well, you guys already know the drill. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Comment down below. Do you care if the files get released or not? Or is this just one of those things where if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No skin off your back. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Just have to wait and see. That's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.